Have you ever wondered what truly turns a woman on? While we often hear about the G-spot and various erogenous zones, the reality is that every woman's preferences are as unique as she is. For instance, did you know that a simple touch to the neck is an erogenous experience for over 97% of women, or that some can even climax purely from nipple stimulation? This video isn't just about sharing random facts. It's about uncovering the secrets behind female pleasure, understanding why certain spots work wonders, and learning how to master the art of intimacy. From exploring how to expertly stimulate her most sensitive areas, to understanding the psychology behind desire and intimacy, this guide is crafted to transform your knowledge and skills in ways that could change your love life forever. Stay tuned until the end, because we'll also debunk common myths, reveal why oral sex techniques matter more than you think, and share surprising insights on how physical fitness, confidence, and simple, yet mindful gestures can elevate passion in your relationships. Trust me, you don't want to miss this comprehensive dive into understanding and respecting what makes each woman feel extraordinary. By the time we're done, you'll have valuable insights that could make a lasting impact on your intimacy. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. The complexity and beauty of women's pleasure are topics that deserve so much more understanding and appreciation. We often hear about the famous G-spot, as though it's a secret waiting to be unlocked, but in reality, it's far more nuanced than most people realize. Pleasure, particularly for women, isn't a simple one-size-fits-all experience. The G-spot, for instance, varies in how it feels to different women. For some, it brings waves of pleasure when touched, while others might not find it as sensitive. To complicate matters even more, its exact location isn't uniform. It can differ from one woman to the next. Think of it as a personal treasure map, one that needs careful exploration, patience, and curiosity to fully appreciate. And while much attention is given to finding this spot, other, often overlooked areas can be equally powerful sources of pleasure. Did you know that a staggering 97% of women consider the neck an erogenous zone? Just the right touch, a light kiss, or a gentle breath on the neck can send shivers of anticipation down the spine. The neck is a place where sensation is heightened, connecting physical touch to emotional intimacy. And get this, for a rare 1% of women, stimulation of the nipples alone can lead to an orgasm. Imagine the sheer intensity and sensitivity that would require. Isn't it amazing how varied and deeply personal each woman's experience with her own body can be? When it comes to fantasies, both men and women often share a longing for oral sex, which can be an incredibly intimate and fulfilling experience. Oral pleasure can bring a woman to the heights of ecstasy, and the female orgasm itself is something extraordinary. It can last anywhere from a fleeting 3 seconds to a breathtaking 51 seconds. That's not just pleasure, it's an entire moment suspended in time, where the mind and body are completely absorbed in bliss. And yes, some women can even ejaculate during orgasm, a phenomenon distinct from the orgasm itself and something not everyone experiences. Understanding these distinctions helps in appreciating the full spectrum of female sexuality. So, how can one deliver such satisfying experiences through oral sex? There's no magic formula, but there are tried and true techniques that can greatly enhance pleasure. The golden rule is to start slow and tune in to her reactions. Remember, the clitoris is an incredibly sensitive area, packed with 8,000 nerve endings, double the amount found in the penis. It's a powerhouse of sensation, but that also means it can easily become overstimulated if handled too aggressively. Begin with gentle touches, perhaps using your tongue to explore in light, circular motions. Licking and softly sucking are often effective, but the trick is to read her body language. Every woman's preferences are different, so communication is essential. Ask her what feels good and be open to adjusting your approach. It's a journey of discovery, and her pleasure should always guide your actions. Interestingly, only 18% of women can achieve orgasm from penetration alone. This might surprise some, especially given the portrayal of sex in media, but it underscores an important reality. Penetration isn't the only path to satisfaction. Many women need additional clitoral stimulation or prefer specific positions that allow for deeper intimacy rather than just depth of penetration. During an orgasm, a woman's brain becomes fully active, lighting up in a way that scientists are still working to understand. Yet, for all the talk about orgasms, a surprising 30% of women report difficulty reaching climax, and 10% have never experienced one. It's a sobering reminder of how much we still need to learn and communicate about women's pleasure. There's also a misconception that deeper penetration always equals more pleasure. On the contrary, many women find that shallower, gentler thrusts provide better stimulation of the G-spot and other sensitive areas. Intimacy is less about technique and more about attunement to each other's bodies, preferences, and rhythms. Trust and emotional connection play a huge role in a woman's sexual experience. Women in stable, committed relationships often experience more orgasms compared to casual encounters. It's a testament to the power of emotional safety and deep bonds. Little acts of affection, like waking her with soft kisses or sharing whispered fantasies, can deepen intimacy and enhance pleasure. Open conversations about sexual preferences are crucial. Yet, we live in a world where discussing what we want in bed can still feel taboo. But these discussions are necessary. They allow both partners to express desires and boundaries, leading to a more fulfilling sex life. Unrealistic expectations, particularly around body image, can damage intimacy and self-esteem. Many women feel immense pressure to look a certain way, but the truth is that physical attraction isn't about having a perfect body. Most women appreciate partners who stay active and care for themselves, not because they're chasing physical perfection, but because fitness often correlates with energy, confidence, and a sense of vitality. Even small things matter. Keeping facial hair well-groomed, for instance, can make intimacy more comfortable, especially during oral sex. It's the little details that show thoughtfulness and consideration. And, when it comes to physical appeal, it's less about having rock-hard abs and more about staying healthy and confident. A simple walk, regular exercise, or a focus on physical well-being can be incredibly attractive. The reality is that sexual dissatisfaction is widespread, with 2 out of 3 people feeling unhappy with their sex life. This statistic is disheartening but points to an opportunity. Communication and a willingness to experiment can change everything. Take sexual positions, for example. Trying new things, like the 69 position, where both partners give and receive pleasure simultaneously, or doggy style, known for providing deeper penetration, can reignite passion. But remember, the goal is mutual comfort and satisfaction, not just variety for the sake of it. Every woman's body is unique, and what brings pleasure to one may not work for another. This is where exploration and respect come into play. A kiss on the neck, a gentle touch on the breasts, or a conversation about fantasies can work wonders. Oral sex, when done thoughtfully, can be one of the most pleasurable experiences for both partners. It's about technique, but even more so about care, attention, and genuine connection. Let's not forget the power of scent in attraction. The natural smell of testosterone, the male hormone, can be a potent aphrodisiac for women. Some colognes are even designed to mimic this effect, subtly enhancing a man's allure. It's a primal, instinctive reaction that speaks to the deep and mysterious ways we're drawn to one another. But attraction isn't just about chemistry. Emotional connection is equally important. Surprisingly, research has shown that couples with identical personalities may struggle to maintain long-term passion. A bit of difference keeps things interesting and prevents relationships from becoming too stagnant. Women's sexual desire can change over time, especially with life events like menopause. Hormonal shifts during menopause can alter libido and intimacy, often leading to an increased desire for closeness or a reevaluation of what feels good. As we grow older, it becomes even more important to have open, empathetic conversations about evolving needs. Intimacy is a lifelong learning process, one that requires adaptation and a willingness to understand each other on deeper levels. Ultimately, knowledge and open-mindedness are empowering when it comes to sex. Learning about your partner's body, understanding how things change over time, and being open to exploration can greatly enrich your intimate life. Setting realistic expectations and being willing to compromise makes for a fulfilling and joyous partnership. A truly satisfying sexual relationship is one built on communication, understanding, and a deep appreciation for each other's uniqueness. It's about growing together, embracing each other's desires, and making intimacy a shared, ever-evolving adventure. Sapiosexuality is a captivating concept, a term that speaks to a unique and beautiful way of experiencing attraction. It describes individuals who find the intellect of another person irresistibly alluring. For sapiosexuals, there's something profoundly magnetic about an exchange of ideas, like a subtle undercurrent of desire flowing through a well-articulated argument or a thought-provoking debate. Imagine being swept off your feet, not by a traditional romantic gesture, but by someone eloquently discussing a complex theory or passionately explaining a novel concept. It's an arousal that starts in the mind and spreads through the soul, creating a deeply intimate connection. For those who identify as sapiosexual, a stimulating conversation holds the power to awaken feelings that are just as potent as physical attraction, if not more. It's about feeling seen and understood on a cerebral level, a shared experience of diving deep into the well of human thought and emotion. Breaking down myths is essential, and one common misconception is that a woman's sexual sensitivity decreases with time or regular sexual activity. Yet, this couldn't be further from the truth. The female body is complex, responsive, and capable of retaining, and even enhancing, its ability to experience pleasure throughout life. Think about it. Our bodies have a remarkable capacity for adaptation, growth, and renewed sensitivity when cared for properly. For example, the Carezza method is a gentle yet transformative approach to intimacy. Rather than focusing solely on the goal of an orgasm, Carezza emphasizes the joy of the journey itself. It's a practice that honors slow, affectionate touch and the emotional connection between partners. Imagine lying in the warm embrace of someone you deeply love, feeling their soft, loving caresses, and savoring every second without the pressure of a climax. The essence of this method is about lingering in the moment, cherishing the way your bodies communicate wordlessly, and finding fulfillment in simply being close to one another. This approach can create an atmosphere of deep intimacy, a shared experience that strengthens the emotional bond and leaves you both feeling closer than ever. On a different note, let's delve into how appearance impacts attraction, because it truly does matter. Women often notice the little things: a well-groomed haircut, a neatly trimmed beard, or an outfit put together with care. These details speak volumes about a man's character. They suggest a sense of self-respect, a willingness to put effort into how one is perceived, and an understanding of how appearances reflect inner confidence. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about the impression that you are someone who values yourself. Imagine a man stepping into a room, his hair freshly styled, his clothes pressed and fitting well. There's something undeniably attractive about that quiet self-assuredness. It shows that he takes himself seriously, and, in turn, he's likely to be taken seriously by others. When pursuing someone who isn't easily impressed, the key is subtlety. Loud and over-the-top gestures may seem romantic in movies, but in real life, they can be overwhelming or come across as trying too hard. Instead, think of subtlety as an art form. It's about making your presence felt in a gentle, sophisticated way. Perhaps it's the way you maintain eye contact during a conversation, offering a look that hints at your interest without being obvious. Or maybe it's leaving a thoughtful compliment that makes her think about you long after you've parted ways. These understated moves can ignite a sense of curiosity and desire, making the whole experience more intriguing and memorable. Now, fantasies are another aspect of our intimate selves that can't be ignored. They are the playground of the mind, a safe space where imagination runs wild, and desires can be explored without real-world repercussions. Everyone has fantasies, whether they admit it or not, and these mental adventures don't necessarily mean that a person wants to act them out. They can be purely psychological, a way to experience excitement and curiosity in a controlled, harmless way. For some, these fantasies may involve adventure, risk, or even the idea of danger, but it doesn't mean they seek these elements in real life. Instead, these fantasies allow for a richer inner life, adding layers to a person's sexual identity that are fascinating to explore. Reviving passion and keeping the excitement alive in a long-term relationship often comes down to novelty. As time passes, routines can become dull, and it's easy to feel that familiar spark beginning to dim. But introducing new experiences can make a huge difference. This doesn't have to be something dramatic. Even the simplest change, like trying a new setting for intimacy, experimenting with new roles, or adding playful elements, can reignite a sense of adventure and discovery. It's about keeping the relationship fresh and exciting, showing that there's always something new to learn about one another. Speaking of love, it's a multifaceted and beautifully complex phenomenon. Psychologists say love comprises three main components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Each combination of these elements creates a different type of love experience. Some relationships may feel like a whirlwind, full of passion but lacking stability, while others may feel like a serene and steady companionship, strong on commitment but missing a bit of the fiery thrill. Understanding the balance of these elements in your relationship can shed light on why you feel connected or disconnected from your partner. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Your attachment style can also play a significant role in shaping your love life. Some people are secure, having no trouble trusting and being close to others. They find comfort in their relationships and don't fear being hurt. On the other hand, some are more avoidant, putting up walls because they are afraid of vulnerability. For these individuals, keeping emotional distance feels safer than risking pain. And then there are those with anxious attachment styles, who live in a state of constant worry about whether they are loved or valued enough. Recognizing these patterns can be life-changing. It can open the door to healthier communication, helping you and your partner understand each other more deeply and work toward a stronger connection. Interestingly, as we age, our desire for intimacy doesn't fade away. Many older adults find a newfound appreciation for a slower, more emotionally connected kind of intimacy. It becomes less about performance and more about shared experiences and emotional closeness. It's a reminder that sexual satisfaction isn't confined to youth. Our bodies change, but the need for touch, closeness, and connection remains. The role of scent in attraction is also remarkable. A particular fragrance can trigger memories, stir emotions, or even create a sense of longing. It's a subtle but powerful way that our senses influence our desires. Meanwhile, it's also normal for some people to find aggression or roughness in their fantasies exciting, even if it seems surprising. It doesn't mean they have violent tendencies. It's just another way the mind explores boundaries. External factors like the weather can also impact our sex drive. During warm, sunny days, many people find themselves feeling more alive and invigorated, which can translate into increased desire. Music is another element that can elevate experiences, adding an emotional resonance to a romantic moment. The right song can make a simple evening unforgettable, weaving emotions and memories into the experience. But sexual intimacy comes with vulnerabilities, too. For some, the mere feeling of being watched can take them out of the moment, making it hard to relax and feel pleasure. Men who experience erectile dysfunction often struggle with shame and embarrassment, which can impact their sense of self-worth and strain relationships. Addressing these issues with kindness and understanding is crucial. Healing often starts with open, honest conversations and a willingness to seek solutions. Even practices like yoga can be transformative, enhancing sexual function and desire. Yoga's emphasis on mindfulness, flexibility, and strength can improve blood flow, reduce anxiety, and increase overall well-being, which in turn can lead to a more fulfilling intimate life. Cybersex, too, has become a modern-day aspect of sexuality. It comes with benefits and drawbacks, and like any intimate activity, it relies on clear communication and mutual consent. Physical touch is essential, even beyond the bedroom. A simple hug, a hand held at the right moment, or the warmth of a kiss can speak volumes. The absence of touch, on the other hand, can create a void that's hard to fill. Emotional and sexual dissatisfaction often stem from a lack of these small but significant gestures. In today's evolving world, some couples are redefining what relationships mean, moving away from traditional monogamy toward ethical, open relationships. These setups challenge conventional norms and require an incredible amount of communication and trust. But when done right, they can be incredibly fulfilling. Life, love, and sexuality are a journey, an ever-evolving experience that grows and changes as we do. They are complex, challenging, and sometimes confusing, but they are also full of beauty, passion, and moments that make life truly worth living. Wow, we've covered so much about understanding female pleasure and how to deepen emotional and physical intimacy. From mastering the art of gentle touch to learning the importance of communication and exploring fantasies together, these insights can truly transform your approach to connection and satisfaction. What have you learned today that stands out the most? We'd love to hear from you. Comment below and share one thing you've discovered and are excited to bring into practice in your own life. Your thoughts and experiences could even inspire someone else. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more engaging content on love, relationships, and everything that makes life more meaningful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.